At the end of each year, I say to myself and to the folks that I've been working with, how can we do this better? How can we grow this? Because if we're about growth and learning and innovation, then we need to be growing what we're doing and not just doing the same thing every year. And so I'd have them for the summer where we'd engage in interdisciplinary learning around philosophy, and then in the fall for this integrated methods course, and then it would be over. And off they would go out into the practicum and experience tough, challenging, and sometimes great things. But we were losing our community. I said, what would we like to do? So we formed an inquiry group last year. They came from all their communities after school, and we said, what do we want to explore, and how can we continue to collaboratively inquire even during practicum? We said, let's take up the new curriculum. And by that I mean renewed curriculum. What is this? What could it be? So we met once a month.
And it really came down to giving our teacher candidate colleagues and professionals in the greater community, giving everyone an opportunity to kind of explore the curriculum together. After each and every meeting that we had, I would walk away feeling fed, feeling like I had had a really good meal and like I could go to sleep and I would be comfortable. And it was just a place for sharing ideas and struggles. So from January to June, it evolved. So we started with just the teacher candidates, which is kind of more of a safe space. We all got to kind of ask these questions with people that we'd been working with for quite a while. And it grew from there. So we went out a layer and we started involving the schools that we had been visiting in middle methods, so VCS, Seton, Rutland Middle.
And so then we moved from teacher candidates working in those classrooms as part of their methods courses to being colleagues inquiring together. We brought examples of what we were trying to each meeting, sharing and hearing from each other, always starting with the community circle to build community, and then moving into sharing examples, posing questions, leaving with an intention, and then coming back a month later to see what we were doing. We moved into being co-researchers together outside of a course structure. The freedom and the depth and the relationships we built no longer had a contrived, well, we're part of a class together. And instead, we were part of a learning community together that was continuing our work, but had more of an authentic, sometimes raw, but very communal vibe. We were supporting each other to be innovators.
Every time, it's a reassurance that I'm okay, that I'm doing okay, and that despite things being hard and despite the exhaustion and despite the struggles, that I can come in and be like, this is what I'm facing, this is what I'm struggling with, this is where I'm at. And people reassure you. I think the words that I used today were rejuvenation and validation. I think it also adds value to you as a teacher in terms of you're not a student teacher, it's not like you're brand new and you don't know anything. Your ideas are important and your ideas are valid and valuable.
Sometimes, again, you feel isolated and you feel alone, so to be able to come to a space where men and women are here, we have people of all different ages. Last week we had students here. I think all too often they're left out of the conversation about education. So just to be able to see the range of people in all kind of different power positions as well has been really important.
We've got mentor teachers, ministry representatives, teachers, teacher candidates, purposefully arranging the groupings that way, and they have something unique that they can see, and so sharing it in groups has been really beneficial and valuable.
What I'm finding is that there are common struggles and common triumphs among teachers. So to be able to share in a community of people who care about teaching and care about changing the way that teaching is done has been really supportive to my own professional development, but also I think to the group, the community that we're creating.
Teaching is messy, and that's okay. And I think for me personally, that was a big message that I took away, is that we are so confined by the system, but we can do really great things within that system.
It is an opportunity to see what's happening in other schools, what other teachers are doing, to collaborate on a bigger scale. I have the fortune of collaborating in a smaller scale with my core teachers, which is amazing, but it's also nice to see what else other people are doing.
Being able to kind of communicate with not only those who were within my same cohort teaching level, but those who were in the ETAPs, the elementary levels as well.
Talking to one of the elementary school teachers last night, she had an activity that she used with her grade 1s that I would like to try with my 11, 12s. So it's win-win for me too. I'm also learning from them.
We talk all the time about how education is so political, but this has reminded me that education is also about people and it's human.
We're all in it together with our sleeves rolled up, and we're all coming from a learning mindset. So it means that everyone in this is a teacher and everyone's a learner, regardless of how long you've been teaching, regardless of what your role is in education within this province. And so everything's always shifting and changing in response to what we're learning together.
To me, it has been just a great opportunity to be grounded in all of our practices at least once a month during my practicum. So it's really nice to come and be reminded that there are like-minded people out there that share my views.
The teacher candidates can move into the profession and really embodying that renewed curriculum. And I think talking about what some of those challenges would be, how would schools potentially need to change, be more flexible. There's enough of us that have momentum to move forward and break out of that status quo.
And what that allows us to do across organizations and institutions is reconsider what we need to do in terms of some of our systems and structures. What do teacher education programs look like when teacher candidates are really engaged? What does a redesigned curriculum that actually really works for students and really works for teachers, what does that look like?
And I would like to join in with that conversation, that reflective conversation with academics and say, so this is what the practice of those theories feels like and smells like and tastes like. And so what does that do with more formal academic theoretical instruction? How does that relate to what we do every day with children and helping them to learn and grow?
It's an embodied learning experience where each of us need to show up, be a learner. And to be a learner, you have to be a little bit vulnerable. You have to say, I don't know. I don't know the answer to this. I don't know the pathway forward, but if we can work on this together, then we're going to figure it out in a way that's supportive for everyone and all sectors. It's ongoing, collaborative, professional learning for everyone who's involved as part of a bigger provincial change process.
It's not about doing it one way. It's about taking principles together and using opportunities to construct better learning and moving away from that transmission model of education to something that is truly more generative, co-constructed, and maybe even holistic.